Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a reading for the next 3 months. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we have a Knight of Cups. This is kind of a bold, emotional risk kind of energy, okay? To me, this is somebody who is following their heart. This is somebody that is kind of, presenting themselves to the world and saying, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I'm all about, and hoping that there's a response, I feel like you're putting yourself out there. And I feel like a lot of you are taking a risk on something that really means something to you. It's like a creative risk. It's an emotional risk. Very often, the Knight of Cups is sort of making the first move in a new love relationship, in a romance. Okay, trying to get something started. It's taking a risk. It's being bold. It's being assertive in matters of the heart. Okay, I think it's also looking toward the future and believing that the future you want is achievable, okay? This is telling me also that many of you have something to offer the world. All of you have something to offer the world, right? And I think a lot of you know what that is. And you're being encouraged to express that, to give that to the world, okay? So if you know what your gift is, you're being told to offer it, okay? This card is also about the giving and receiving of love and affection. I feel that we're looking for reciprocity. We're kind of looking for our cup to be filled as well. Yeah, I think some of you are in a relationship now, and you're starting to ask that question, like, am I getting enough out of this? Is this relationship meeting my needs? Is my cup being filled? Okay. And I think at the same time, asking that question of us, like, are we doing enough, to fill the cups around us? Are we being generous with our energy? Are we expressing enough love and gratitude to the world? Okay. Let's put this card into a little bit of context and let's see what's going on in your life. We have a 5 of Cups. A Princess of Cups, an Ace of Pentacles, a 10 of Wands, a Princess of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, the Devil card, a 3 of Wands, and a 7 of Cups. A lot of good energies here. I feel like there's a lot of clarity. I feel like there's a lot of bold energy. I think there's also a lot of assertiveness. I feel that you're starting to know where to invest your energy and where not to invest your energy. Okay? Especially with that 10 of Wands, because that's kind of like saying you have 24 hours in a day. How are you allocating all those hours? It's like you have a finite amount of resources. How are you investing those resources? Okay. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with our little octopus friend, the 8 of Tentacles. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down beneath the video. Now, as we're looking around the room, we see really just one major card. We see fire, fire, fire. We see water, 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 water. We don't see any air. and we see our earth and our earth energy. So since there's no air, I feel that there is a need for more communication. I feel like a lot of you are not communicating as much as you should be with the people around you. Maybe it means like you're not speaking up. I think that over the next 3 months, it's that awareness of like, where in our lives have we not been expressing ourselves? Where in our lives have we not been voicing our opinion? Okay? And if I were you, I would take the absence of the swords cards to say like, where's my voice? You know, where's my opinion in all of this? Okay? What do I think about stuff? Yeah. So I would take it as a sign that kind of says you need to, that's kind of saying that you need to speak up more. Okay, you need to understand that you do have something very valuable to say, and that it's not something to just keep inside. I feel like there's some emotions that might be bottled up for some of you, especially with that 5 of Cups there. That's a card of disappointment. It's the card that's saying, you know, Aries, there's something that should be in your life that's not there. And so if we can identify that, we can speak up about it. We can do something about it, okay? And so it is not an emotion to be identified with. You don't want to take on that emotion. You don't want to react emotionally to life. You want to be able to identify the emotion, not identify with it, right? So you want to be able to name it, okay? It could be that the absence of swords cards for some of you is saying that, yeah, there's this feeling of disappointment, but you don't know why. You don't know where it's coming from, or you don't know what exactly it's trying to say to you. Okay? So I think a big theme for the next 3 months is to start to understand what this feeling is. Okay, we're calling it disappointment. It's an unmet expectation. And what is the message? Why are you feeling disappointed? What is it what is it trying to tell you? What is it urging you toward? How do we remedy that? Okay? Down beneath the surface, you have a Princess of Cups. Princess of Cups is the hopes, the dreams, the wishes, the aspirations, the desires, okay? It's kind of giving yourself permission to feel again, okay? It is giving yourself, allowing yourself the awareness that, like, there's something stirring inside of you. You want something. And I think that some of the disappointment for some of you is that there are dreams inside of you that are not being acted upon, that are not being manifested, that aren't being kind of fulfilled in some way, or at least explored. Okay? There seems to be a kind of dissatisfaction. If we understand why that is, or if we can acknowledge that dissatisfaction, maybe we can start to hear that voice that's like kind of whispering like, this is what would satisfy you. This is what would bring about a sense of fulfillment or a sense of purpose, you know, even. And that could be what's missing. Once we identify what's missing, then we can understand that this is it. Whatever, this is the hope, the dream, the wish, the aspiration. This is maybe the feeling of joy, or the kind of fantasy, or this is like the little bit extra of life, okay? This is also a card of paying attention to signs, symbols, and synchronicities. I feel like it's very important that you listen to the universe, because there's a message coming through, and it's trying to point you toward what is going to really bring you more joy and more love and more excitement in your life. Okay. In the background, we have the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like for a lot of you, there is an opportunity, a gift, a ticket is coming in to ride. Okay? It's an opportunity for perhaps a new physical or financial opportunity, a new endeavor. Okay? This is something, it's a seed that could be planted for something else. Okay? And the Ace is as yet unmanifested. This is basically like a 0. It's kind of saying there's potential here. Now, if you were to accept this and travel down this road, it could turn into something really, really wonderful. This could be something financial. It feels like there's the potential for this to be a very successful endeavor. Maybe it's of a romantic nature, maybe it's a business thing, maybe it's a creative adventure. But this is that seed. This is you're being given the gift of that opportunity, okay, to kind of travel down a new road. And maybe that new road is leading to a relationship. Maybe it's about the, kind of a business thing, or maybe it's really kind of saying like, once you understand what's missing from your life, you then can recognize this opportunity to go get it. Okay, because the ace plus the 5, of course, we get the 6. That's what we're looking for. So right now, something's missing. Once you understand that, and you kind of get that whisper from your soul about what it is you really want in life and what seems appealing to you, what do the signs say, what does your heart tell you, then you can recognize this opportunity, this new road that you could take to walk down that path. Okay. The 10 of Wands is all about the allocation of your energy. What are you investing in? I feel like a lot of you are kind of feeling burned out on life. And I think it's because there is this 5 of Cups that's sort of laying on top of you. That's this sadness or disappointment. Okay. I think that if there is a sense of purpose, this energy would be more readily available. But since that it feels like either that sense of purpose is gone or whatever it is that's missing, because that piece is missing, it's making all of life feel a little bit more burdensome, right? This is a really heavy burden that's on top of you. And sometimes it's the idea of we're overcommitted. I think a lot of you have taken on too many projects, too many responsibilities in life. So we might be moving into a season where we're trying to downsize a little bit. We're trying to sort of thin our responsibilities out. So observe where in your life you've taken on more than you needed to, and how you can delegate some of that. How you can in some ways say, I don't need that burden anymore. Okay. How do we say no to more things? I feel like this is a card that always says yes to everything, to the point where you're spread very, very thin. Okay. That 5 of Cups could even be the feeling of like, I don't know why, but there's just like this kind of an unwell feeling maybe for some of you. Okay. And I think it's because burnout is like a real thing. Yeah. The 10 of Wands might also be showing that some of you are sort of over leveraged with certain things. Okay. And I think that there's a really huge investment that you've made in some things, and there may be a kind of worry that those things aren't going to pay off. I feel like since we have a 9 of Pentacles over here, the investments that you've made are going to pay off. It's still important that you understand where you need to pull some of those resources back in. Okay. The Princess of Wands in the future position here, this is risk-taking, okay? That is an impulsive energy. But I think that in combination with our Princess of Cups, it's kind of saying that you have to know what's missing and you have to apply your energy toward those things. Maybe the 10 of Wands is saying that we've been so filled up with other responsibilities, okay, that we, in this search for, to sort of fill that cup, right, that we've been overdoing it, that we've been looking everywhere for something and we can't find it, right? So we've been keeping ourselves very, very, very busy in an effort to either distract us from the 5 of Cups, or in an attempt to sort of fill it up with quantity rather than quality. The Princess is advising you to figure out what excites you, to do more of what feels fun, to do more of what feels like it's sort of like it brings about this vitality in you. What lights you up? What really is like gives you that spark? Okay, do more of those things, because I think that is the pathway toward like crystallizing some of those dreams that you have. I think it's these two cards together are the name of the game. Pursue those dreams. Okay. Choose a path that's going to allow you to explore at least those dreams. and to see if there's anything that can progress from that. Again, with the Ace of Pentacles, becoming a Nine of Pentacles, I think you're going to then divert some of your attention, some of your energy into things that really speak to your heart, and allow yourself to go in that direction. Okay, so to me, there's a kind of we're taking some of this energy and we're going to funnel it through this heart, and we're going to explore some new things. Now, the princess is giving you permission to sort of explore new things, to be curious about things, to sort of to follow your excitement. And I don't think, Aries, you need permission. I think that you sort of, you're going to do what you want most of the time. And I think this is one occasion where you really need to. I think it's important that you find things in life, whether they're hobbies or relationships, friendships, new skills to learn, new places to go. You find ways to, to bring some of that very active and very lively creative energy. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is a card of progress. I think a lot of you are going to see the financial progress that you've been hoping for, okay? I think there is this kind of over-leveraged energy, but I think a lot of this is going to pay off. This is the card of things growing, things getting better. It's the visible sign of progress. So if you've been working on something, if you've been putting 110% of energy into something lately, you're going to see the gains from that. Whether it's financial, whether it has to do with your physical health, whether it has to do with relationships, and maybe this is part of like the Five of Cups, the disappointment. Something should be there and it's not. Well, what's not there that should be? The progress. Okay? I think that growth and that progress is going to show up for you. Okay? Over the next 3 months, be on the lookout for the increase. And find ways to measure the growth. In other words, you have to pay attention. You have to be looking so that you can see that things are getting better. Or, let's say, at the end of 3 months, you can look back to where you were today, and you can say, okay, Paul was right. Things got better. Things progressed. There was an increase. The line was going up and to the right. Okay, this is you traveling the successful road, making progress. So find what the metric would be. Whatever you're doing in life, whether you're following your dream, which I hope you are, whether this is a creative thing, if it's a relationship, if it's your work or your business, how can you measure the progress, right? You say, my life's not getting any better, my life's not progressing. Well, what's the marker for that? If it's financial, it's easy. You can say, my bank account's not getting bigger. Well, that's easy to see when it does, because the number will get higher, right? So what's the amount for you that's going to increase? And if this is love, if this is a relationship, what is the metric? Is it, we fight less? Is it, we're intimate more often? Is it we've spent literally spent more hours together than we used to? So that's a number. And how can we define what progress looks like? That's a really big question for the Nine of Pentacles, is how do we measure progress? I would say, I'm not making any progress. Well, how do you know? What are you tracking? What are you looking at that's telling you that? Well, I don't know. I just feel like something's not right. Okay. Well, let's look at it in a realistic way. Especially if you got that Five of Cups, you're sad, you're disappointed. Why? I'm not making the progress that I wanted to make. Something's not there that should be there. This is the card that says we have to put that in concrete terms. We have to be able to define that. What does progress look like for you? Okay, and what are the signs that progress is happening? What measurement do you have to see? Okay. In the environment, we have the Devil energy. The Devil is a very creative card. It's the engine of your car. It's kind of like it's the motivation. So with this card, it feels that we need to ask ourselves what's motivating us in life. What really gets us fired up? What makes us want to climb all the way up the mountain? What is the carrot in front of us? And I think that for you, there is this kind of this dream, this wish, this desire that you have inside of you that I think has been put on hold or something like that, but now it's sort of being activated again. I feel like that is really the motivation for you, that there's something here that is just influencing you to create. Yeah. This is a very ambitious card. And sometimes this card, though, doesn't have much concern for other people, so I think that a big deal for you in the next 3 months is going to be connecting with people, showing people that you kind of want them in your life and you want to be in theirs. You don't have to be the lone mountain goat. Okay? I think there's an idea here of kind of like finding people in your life that will help to motivate you. Maybe it's like finding your accountability buddy, or it is kind of joining up with a team or like a group of people that are all very motivated, because you are the company you keep. You are the average of the people you spend your time with. So I think that for a lot of you, it's going to be like finding like-minded people. They don't have to be. It doesn't have to be a team. Like you don't all have to be going after the same goal, but finding other highly motivated people that you can talk to or associate with or like watch their podcast or something, right? To sort of feel like you're not alone, that there's some encouragement, and the Devil card is kind of asking us really like, where do we get our motivation? What is it what's driving us right now? Okay. The Three of Wands is virtue. Okay, it's a Sun in Aries energy. I feel like you're somebody that knows who they are and knows why they're here. Yeah. I think that in your life, there are certain things that you will not put up with. I feel like you got your own no-nos, your non-negotiables, and I feel that in the next 3 months, something is going to ask you to compromise your integrity. Something in your life is asking you to put up with it. And I think that that it's going against everything you believe in. To either accept something or, because it almost feels like if you don't say anything or you don't speak up or you don't like actively reject something, then it's basically like you're saying it's okay, right? And so I feel that this is you really asserting yourself and standing up for yourself in some aspect of life. And it may be in your relationship. It may be that, look, you have certain needs or expectations for your relationship, and you're not going to put up with any. You're not going to settle for the low-hanging fruit. You're not going to settle for some kind of a consolation prize. Okay, or some sort of appeasement. I feel like maybe somebody's giving you a gift, like they have been not pulling their weight in the relationship. And instead of starting to pull their weight, they just bring you like a cupcake or like a cookie. Say, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, I don't want your cookie. I want you to pull your weight. That's part of our Ten of Wands too. I feel like for some of you, there is that imbalance. There's a power dynamic where you're carrying too much of the weight and somebody else is not there. So I feel like for some of you, you're supposed to be in a team right now. Maybe it's a team, you and your spouse or something, right? Or a coworker. It's supposed to be teamwork, but it's not. And so when we say something should be there, but it's not, yeah, it's the other person. What's missing? Their work, their presence, their ability to carry half the load. And so that disappointment becomes, we're disappointed in somebody else. Because I feel like you've been putting in all the effort in some aspect, whether it's at home, at work, at school, professional, personal, a relationship, romance, doesn't matter. You've been putting in all the work. But the other person, they're not reciprocating. The other person is not matching your energy. And I feel like in some aspect, they're bringing some sort of a gift or some sort of an apology that's supposed to make it all better. But I think you're saying, you're kind of standing up for yourself. You're asserting yourself. And I don't know why, but it feels like you haven't really been speaking up lately. It feels like you've been in a season where maybe you've been letting things slide too much. Maybe you've been like just picking your battles, choosing not to rock the boat, choosing not to speak up and speak out and assert yourself. But I feel like now you really need to. So I feel like there is something in your life that's trying to just like almost condescend to you, almost just like appease you, patronize you. And you're saying, I don't want your cookie. I want things to be fair. I want things to be two-way street. I want reciprocity here. I want compensation for my work. Maybe for some of you, this is some sort of injustice at work. You know, maybe it's that you've been putting all these extra hours, but they haven't given you all the money they owe you, right? And it's kind of like, no, I'm not going to just take, I'm not just going to accept like a thank you card. It's like, I want what's owed. I want what I deserve, you know? So I think the Three of Wands really is advocating for yourself. Be bold, be assertive, stand up, and communicate. Yeah. The Seven of Cups at the end there, this is something that usually will masquerade as something very nice, very lovely, very appealing, but you can see through the facade, okay? So it may be that some of you are recognizing this in your life, that something has been pretending to be something that it really isn't. And this might be the part of that disappointment too. And it may be something should be here, but it's not. Maybe whoever's on the other side there, they're not capable of providing that. Okay? It's like something should be there, but it's not, but this isn't the person that can give it to you. Or this isn't the job that can give it to you. So I feel like there is the realization here that something in your life has got to go. And I think you're redirecting some of your energy to something that is going to fulfill you, a sense of purpose, to your kind of dream job, your dream work, your aspirations, your deeper desires, your sense of purpose, you know, to find maybe that relationship or that true love that really will fulfill you. It feels like first there has to be the recognition of, like, it's kind of like you want this to be it, but when you look beneath the surface, what you need isn't there. Okay? And so the recognition of this is allowing you then to make the appropriate changes in your life so that you can get what you want. Let's look at the mystery card. I want some good water, I want better water, right? I want like a 3, a 6, a 9, a 10 of cups. It might be the Lover's card. It might be some pentacles, maybe a 6 of something. Let's see what we have. Yeah, 6 of Wands, sure. Ring the bell for that one. The 6 of Wands is victory. The 6 of Wands, though, is also that sense of teamwork. It's the sense of like what you're investing in is also investing in you. So the power dynamic that we're talking about with the 10 of Wands is now fixed. So this is the reestablishment of balance. It's the establishment now of it, like it's not just you carrying all the burden. It's now kind of being shared against everybody here, whether it's just you and your spouse or something, or you and the other person, or you and whoever or whatever you're investing in. You expect there to be some sort of fairness, some sort of a balance there, you know? And so if this is the situation where you're realizing that this other person is not going to show up for you, fine. You're going to go find somebody that will. You're going to go to a situation or a job or a new career or a relationship or a friendship that is going to be balanced. That is where we can be a team. Because it's like, if y'all don't want to be on my team, I'm going to either go be a team of one, or I'm going to find a team. I'm going to find somebody that actually wants to be with me and on my team and that sort of thing. Of course, this doesn't mean that you're going to just absolutely quit your job and go do something else, or like just break up with your person right away and then go look for somebody else. I feel like there needs to be the thought. There needs to be the swords cards. You have to think it through. You have to plan, you have to communicate, you have to consider. You know, you got to give your 2-week notice. Maybe it's this idea of you've got to kind of investigate other options first. Okay, so maybe right now we're doing this kind of emotional realization, and then we're going to go to the mind and we're going to start planning the next move and figuring out what to do from here. Okay, so it's going to be a really busy 3 months for you, but I feel like everything in the end is going to come out real sweet. Okay, I think that you will find a lot of progress in your life. Things are going in the right direction. We just need to recognize a few things that need to go or need to be changed, and we need to plan a strategy for changing those things. And then we'll see the progress, right? That 9 of Pentacles. But Figure out how you're going to mark the progress, how you're going to know when things are actually getting better and they're improving and things are growing. What is the metric by which you mark progress? Okay, this is a card of victory after a struggle, and this is the card of balance and harmony and teamwork and leadership. So I feel like this is something that you can't wait around for anybody else to fix. You've got to step up, assert yourself, and you've got to fix it. The Three of Wands is kind of like your virtue, then meets with somebody else who is equal to you. Three of Wands plus another Three of Wands, we get the Six of Wands. So to me, it feels like you're needing to find something or someone that is on your level, that sort of resonates with you on a deep kind of creative level, a spiritual kind of psychic level even. So I feel like right now there might be a mismatch. Yeah, whether it's at home, at work, at school, again, doesn't really matter. But the idea is that you're not going to settle for something less and diminish your energy. You need to find someone or something that's going to match you. Okay, so then you have that 3 and that 3 that come together and make that 6. Yeah, finding someone who's on your level. Finding someone who's kind of equal to you in whatever way this we're talking about. You have to figure that part out, okay? What we're going to do is an extended reading. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner here. There's a link in the video description. New readings for Aries are twice a week. Be sure to watch both of your regular readings. This is a bonus reading, okay? I feel like this was, I don't know, I just feel like there's a need to kind of check in with things, and I can see that this was pretty important. I feel like a lot of things are happening in the next 3 months. Yeah. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.